Yes, people, we're back. Back with another preview, man. Everton Chelsea next week, Monday at the Bridge. Under the lights. You know, I was offered a ticket to go to the game. But I find myself turning down tickets these days, man. Honestly. I'm going to be there at Wembley like an idiot. And I'll be there at the Emirates as well. Which is going to be crazy if we somehow manage to pick up points over there. But right now, I'm going to support these men from Yard. I'm doing a Lewis right now. Because last week, again, dropping points to Sheffield. You know, you go and beat United, but you can't build on that. You know? And Newcastle have just gone and battered Spurs. Yeah, they were just behind us. Now they're 6th. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I keep telling you, look, nothing's going to change. And that's why I've just checked out from the season and written it off. Because it's too inconsistent. There's too many problems. And again, we've got more injuries. You know? We'll get into that. There's a few things we'll get into, man. But first of all, make sure that you smash up the likes. And as always, leave your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think of my lineup. And, you know, like I said, a few things we're going to speak about here in terms of Chelsea's finances that everyone, especially rivals, loves to talk about all the time. You know? So we'll chop it up, man. We'll chop it up. But first of all, I wanted to get into, you know, what's come out today because Chelsea's accounts have been released as of today. And as you can see here, Chelsea finished 12th, obviously, last year in the Prem. And we had the second highest wage bill, highest amortization cost, most expensive squad, and we also had the biggest operating loss as well. And another thing to add to that is Chelsea paid the highest amount of fees to agents. So we spent 75.1 million on the fees to the agents in between the 1st of February of 2023 and the 1st of February of this year. But I'm sorry, that's not anything scary to me because we literally got rid of the whole team and we brought in a lot of players. So I'm not surprised by the amount of money that we spent on agents this time round. I don't think it's going to be the same as that this time round, like in the summer, because we're not going to buy as many people. So again, it's a nothing story, really, you know. Oh, sorry, I've got the Man City game on as well at the minute, making sure to see what Haaland can do, man, against Luton. I've captained this guy. But yeah, as I was saying, right now, like I said, I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter, as always, when it comes to Chelsea's finances, they just love to do this scaremongering thing, don't they? They love it. And every single time they get burnt. Then what's going to happen in the summer? Oh, Chelsea are cheating again because they're using a loophole. Oh, Chelsea, how they managed to get rid of all these players again. I see this every single time. That's why when it comes to finances, I don't really speak about them. You never really see me speaking about finances. I mainly speak about what I see on the pitch, you know, the owners, the manager, things like that. But when it comes to Chelsea's finances, I do my research, you know, just to make sure that I'm clued up and understand it. But I'll never be one of these people that act as if they know everything about it. Yeah? I'll educate where I can, but where I don't know, I'm not going to act like I know. And that's what you get a lot on Twitter. You get a lot of people that just say things, acting as if they know what they're talking about, and then it just gets debunked time and time again. And today, it's been debunked again, some of the things that I've been seeing from people because they're angry, yeah? They're fuming, they're so annoyed, they're so irritated, yeah, that Chelsea have been able to sell a hotel, yeah? This is what the Todd Boehly and these lot have done. These lot are actually madmen, yeah? So Chelsea FC Holdings have sold a hotel to Bluecoal, the parent company. So Bluecoal is the parent company for Chelsea. They've sold it for 76.3 million. This is going to help reduce the already 90.1 million loss from last season when 454 million was spent on players and when Chelsea finished 14th, right? So again, the first thing that I saw people complaining about is, oh, how is this allowed? You know, this is basically a conflict of interest because Bluecoal is basically Chelsea. How they're able to basically buy the assets, right? But that got debunked straight away. Because look at this here. Man like Martin, yeah? Man like Martin Ziegler, yeah? Shout out Martin. Sounds like the Premier League raised issue of closing the loophole around selling assets to related companies in 2021. But there was opposition from some clubs, so it never went to a vote. So it never went anywhere. Yeah, there's no rule that says you're not allowed to do this, basically, is what this is saying. But the EFL has closed that loophole. So if Chelsea was to get relegated, for example, Bluecoal wouldn't be able to do that. They wouldn't be able to buy a hotel from Chelsea because, again, they've closed that loophole. Yeah? But again, I'm seeing so many rivals rattled by this. I'm sorry. I like this. Yeah, I like how we're able to exploit these loopholes to help the club and help us get out of, situations we keep putting ourselves in. We shouldn't be putting ourselves in these situations, of course, but the reality is we need ways around, not even cooking the books, but maneuvering the books and manipulating the books. You need to, rivals, you need to make sure that your frustration is towards the rule makers and the lawmakers, because they're the ones who've created these laws and created these rules, but there's holes in the rules, and that's called a loophole. I don't think people understand what a loophole is. It's not cheating if you exploit a loophole. Yeah, it will most likely get closed after this now, because once again, like before, Chelsea ended up getting the 8-year amortization rule patched up as well, because we exploited that with the amount of contracts that we're giving, 8-year contracts and whatnot. Now you can only do it up to 5 years, So another thing that Todd Boehly's done, which is mad. So listen, like I said, this is, I'm not surprised by this, because these men just always happen to find a way when it comes to business to just do a madness and make sure that we're all right, because like Todd Boehly said here, Chelsea will comply with Premier League financial fair play rules for the foreseeable future. I always take these things with a pinch of salt, but everything right now is indicating that we're not gonna break any, what's the word? Profit and sustainability. This clearly illustrates how we're gonna stay within P&S. Like I said, the 76.3 million that's been brought in from the hotel, that's going to be allowed in the PSR calculations. The money that was brought in from the player sales in 2022, 2023, with a net profit there of 62.9 million. Mason Mount, his transfer fee already on the books for next season as well. All the signings from January 2023, they all agreed to have a salary cut as well, if Champions League wasn't achieved. So we're not going to be paying that much in terms of our wages next season, because again, that's going to go down now that we're not in the Champions League. I think it goes down by like 30% or something along the lines of that. And on top of that, 100 million plus in sales is targeted this summer. So we've got guys like Hall. His clause has already been activated. So now I think that's 28 million or something like that. We're guaranteed. Matson's going to go. That's straight profit. Chalobah's gone straight profit. Broja's going to go straight profit. And in my opinion, Gallagher's going to get sold as well. They've tried a couple times. It's only Poch really that's begging for this guy to stay here. So again, that's going to be more profit. So I'm not worried. And this is what I kept saying to people. I was jumping on the terrace and, Terry was asking me these questions and people would ask me. I'd say it all the time. Every single time, they always try to scare Chelsea fans with news about FFP and black hole this and that. And I keep saying, for me, I don't get involved in all of that. But I'm not worried about it. Yeah, I read up on it. I see what the figures are saying and whatnot. Then I just kind of cool off and see what happens. Yeah, because we know what's going to happen in the summer. These rivals are going to start crying again about more loopholes. And like I said, more clubs coming in to buy our players. And they're going to be wondering again, oh, how did Chelsea do this? How did Chelsea keep doing this? But let's get into the game, man, because honestly, I don't know what it is about Chelsea and Everton recently, but we just can't beat these guys. We seem to really struggle against Everton, And funny enough, I was even at the Bridge last season when we played them, yeah, under Graham Potter. And again, it was another game where, we were missing chances. Kai Havertz actually scored a penalty in that game. João Felix scored as well. Boehly was having a solid game at the back, Surprise, surprise, Charity FC back at it again. They had this guy called Sims, who's in the Championship right now at Coventry. I remember saying to the guy next to me, they've just brought in a guy called Sims. What the hell is this guy going to do? And then before you know it, 2-2. Who scores? Sims. And that's literally been our luck against Everton recently. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I checked the head-to-head earlier, as you guys can see here. We've literally won one game out of our last 5 against Everton. Only one. We don't like playing these guys. The last time we faced them in the league, we lost 2-0. I remember that game. Mudryk was doing up Ashley Young on that side. Enzo, for some reason, was playing as a 10 and he kept overlapping Mudryk, which was crazy. You had Gallagher in the pivot in that game. I remember you had Reece James, who got injured as well. He picked up another injury. That was the last time we saw Reece James play, was against these men. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'll forever keep saying it. As much as I don't believe in these guys, have some shame. Have some shame, because once again, Everton have had more points deducted. They're not on good form at the minute. They're really not. I know they won their last game, but we've got technical players who should be playing Everton off the park. Because if you want to get into a dogfight with Everton, if you want to make it difficult for yourself, these guys will do you for the aerial duels. These guys will get at you in the box for the set pieces. Don't make this a scrappy game. And that's what Poch keeps making it against any team that we play. Scrappy, lack of control, ping pong football, badminton football is what I call it. You know? And if we do that again, we are going to lose the game. It doesn't matter if we're at the bridge. It don't matter. There's nowhere that these men are safe. There's nowhere that these men are comfortable. Yeah? If we play ping pong football again, we will lose this game. We need to play Everton off the park because technically we've got better players than them. Yeah? But the only thing that concerns me about them is their height. You know, they've got Braithwaite. They've got, what's his name? They've got Tawolski. Big him up as well because he's funny in that. Married to the game, I can't lie. I don't know if you lot are watching it. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you are. He is a funny guy. I can't lie to you. He's funny. Him and his wife. Yeah. So he's another one that's going to be a problem in the air. Then they've got Decore in midfield. They've got Onana in midfield. You know? So if we make it, like I said, a dogfight, it's not going to be easy for us. So what I expect in this game is to see clear combinations, clear patterns is what I expect. But it doesn't mean that I believe I'm going to get it because, like I said, this manager is not drilling that style of football into these man. He's drilling transitional football into these guys. Hot potato football. As soon as Enzo gets the ball in midfield, bam, clear it out. As soon as this guy gets the ball, straight to Jackson. All the time. You know, we don't calm things down. That's what we've got to do against Everton. We've got to tire them out. Yeah. And like I said, beat them by playing some good football. Okay. But again, I'm not confident because I just don't see that happening. You know? But this is the lineup that I've gone with, man, because once again, we've got so many injuries. You know, look at the names here that we've got injured again. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. And like I said on the stream that I did with Staffy, I believe, or I think I must have said it with CB. Actually, no, I done it on a pre-record that I did on a preview. I spoke about the amount of injuries at the minute, and I don't think it's a coincidence. I know the medical team are not good enough and they need changes, and like I said, I need to see a fat report of what's going on because this is not right. But it's not a coincidence that these guys keep getting injured in training. I think Poch is playing a big part in our injuries right now. And I saw a tweet from a girl, a PSG fan, speaking about how, you know, the injuries are coinciding with Poch at PSG. The tactics at PSG. It's like looking at what Chelsea fans have been saying. You know, what PSG fans were saying before. And these aren't new tweets. These are tweets that were ongoing at the time. You know? So I definitely think he's playing a big part. Definitely think he's playing a big part. And it's a problem now because we haven't got someone that can play in that position because we're going to be missing Enzo in that first phase, picking up the ball and you know, progressing it from A to B. Gallagher is not that guy. But unfortunately, we decided to go let Santos go out alone, didn't we? Well, I say we, but Poch, you know. Santos, for me, I kept banging on about it. In pre-season, he was top 3 performers. People will only tell me it's only pre-season, but I'm sorry. Pre-season is a good way for you to see what you're working with. It's a good way to see what players can work in what you're trying to build. You know, it's a good way to see new signings. I'm not saying it's the be-all, end-all, but every time I watched him in pre-season, I said, yeah, this guy can hold his own. And even was about to miss out on Lavia. As much as I like Lavia, I was saying, listen, Santos is the same age as Lavia. The only difference is he hasn't got Premier League experience. But when I watch him, he can play in that role as well. And he can play as an 8 as well later on. You know, like a box crasher. But he can actually, he's very comfortable in that role. Vieira's been waxing lyrical about him. You know, he's got young player of the month. But no. Let me bring back Cassidy. Let me bring back a guy who's a box crasher. As if we haven't got Gallagher. As if we haven't got Carney. I know Carney was injured, but he came back. You know, as if we didn't have Nkuku at the time. As if we haven't got Mudryk that can play there. As if we haven't got Palmer that can play there. He decided to leave us on thin bones with Caicedo, yeah, and Enzo, and there's no one else that can play in that position because I'll be honest, I haven't really followed the academy as much as I used to, so I don't know who can even put in there. And even if I did have a name, Poch ain't gonna do it. We know he's not gonna do it. So unfortunately, it's gonna be Gallagher in that pivot as much as I don't want him there. You know, I really don't want him there because Everton they're gonna press us when they can smell danger. And when he gets pressed, that guy, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. Look at the quality against Brazil. You know, when he was playing in that pivot. It's just not it. He's just not it. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is a lineup that I've gone with. Petrovic in goal. I've gone with Badiashile and Thiago Silva as our centre backs. And listen, Badiashile don't deserve to start right now. Let me get that straight first of all. Yeah, Disasi obviously shouldn't be starting for us, but he's had a better season than Badiashile. But he's injured at the minute, right? But how I look at it, I've brought him in with Thiago Silva because hopefully Thiago Silva should be able to give him a little bit of a helping hand, a little bit of experience. Hopefully have him a little bit more composed because this season, I can't lie, he's been poor. He's been a mess, you know. And it wasn't fair for on him last game to bring him on just before a set piece. I know it was terrible timing from him in terms of the jump. I don't excuse that at all. But one thing you never do is you never bring a player on when the other team is about to take a set piece. Do it after. Yeah, you learn that from primary school, from young. You don't do that. So I don't understand why a manager with 15 years experience getting how much, 10 million a year, thinks that's the right thing to do. Just ruining another player's confidence. Do you know what I'm saying? But for this game, like I've said, we're on thin bones right now. So I'm starting in with Thiago Silva, Gusto right back, Cucurella left back, Caicedo, and again, Gallagher in the pivot, unfortunately. In that 10, I was actually going to pick Carney ahead of Cole Palmer in that role. I was going to play Cole Palmer back on the right. But I'll be honest with you, I want to see Madueke get a start, man, because I want that left-hand side and that right-hand side of Everton to be cooked constantly. I just need Mudryk and Madueke to keep running at these guys. Yeah, because Mudryk kept running at Ashley Young and he wasn't looking comfy when he was doing that. He didn't like it. Do you know what I mean? So I need width on both sides because Everton, they're going to play a low block and they're going to try and make the pitch even smaller than where it is at the bridge. You know? So I need both sides to be able to keep running at them and opening up the pitch and help us beat that low block. And again, Cole Palmer in that 10 for me, we know what he's like. We know his passing ability. We know he's got the eye of a needle pass. We know he's got the ability to get out of tight spaces. And if anyone's pressing him, he can beat them with a skill. So for me, you know, as much as he wasn't good against Sheffield in that role, I like him in the 10. I'll be real with you. I actually prefer him in the 10 in comparison to the 9. But, sorry, in comparison to playing right wing. But, you know, for this game, again, we're going to play him in the 10. Because like I said, I think Madueke deserves a start. And at least Carney can come off the bench because every time he's come off the bench, he's impressed me. You know, he deserves to start because, like I said, Gallagher shouldn't be in this 11. But unfortunately, I'm not going to play Carney in the pivot with Caicedo. You know, actually, I could do that. You know, I could do that. I could actually do that. I feel more comfortable playing Carney. Do you know what? We're going to put Carney. We're going to put Carney in that pivot, man. I forgot about that. I think he's more comfortable receiving the ball from the defense. So for this game, I'm actually going to play Carney in the pivot instead of Gallagher. So we'll go with Carney and Caicedo in the pivot for this one. And then, like I said, yeah, Jackson, we'll put Jackson up top for this one as always. So I'm hoping that he can link up nicely with Palmer. Those two have a nice relationship, man. Palmer's got a few assists for Jackson this season. And he creates some good chances for Jackson because Jackson's not a good finisher. So you need someone that's able to create some clear-cut chances for him. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Gallagher, I'm sorry, mate. You don't start for me in this game. I'm starting Carney in that pivot. But unfortunately, Poch is going to play Gallagher in the pivot. Yeah, he's going to play him there. You know, I'm not saying Carney is his levels in that pivot, but I'd rather him pick up the ball. Yeah, I feel he's a lot more comfortable on it. And Caicedo can just, you know, hold up like an anchor, let Carney just drive through the midfield like he does. I call him Ruben Loftus-Cheek reincarnated. Yeah, I really like Carney. And it's a shame that he can't stay fit. But yeah, I'll start him in the pivot for this game and bring Gallagher off the bench and let him run then, you know? So listen, that's the lineup that I've gone with. Let me know what you think about it, of course, in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, man, on what's going on right now with Chelsea, man. It's the same old story, but yeah, just let me know. I always interact with you guys in the comments. So listen, love for tuning in. Like I said, every single time. Hopefully, you know, we can get a win. It's not going to move us from where we are because we're 9th and West Ham are above us. Let me even check the table, yeah, because this is not something that I've been doing, man, this season. I can't even lie. It's just embarrassing. Really, really embarrassing that we're 9th in April right now, you know? So West Ham are on 48 points. They've got 2 games in hand. But yeah, you know, United, let's see how they get on tomorrow. They're on 49 points. But we just need to keep winning. We need to keep winning. We can't put our eggs in one basket and just hope that Europa League is going to be won by winning the FA Cup, because even that we're not guaranteed to win it because we've got Man City next, and that's not going to be an easy game, you know. But listen, like I said, let me know your thoughts. Big up people, man. Love.